Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshire, on the show this evening is our Robert as we build up to Rangers away to Porto in our last European match of 25-26. Evening, Robert.
Evening, mate. How you doing? Hope you're well.
I'm well, mate. I'm well. Looking forward to this. Bizarrely, people might argue it's a bounce game. I just want to measure with improvement, mate.
Aye, it's certainly it's a big test tonight, mate. There's no getting away from that. But it's a good test for the group of players to see how well they've done, really, in the past few weeks. This is a step up from the Ludogorets team we faced as well. Porto's a tough opposition, so a good challenge for the squad tonight, who's been picked and who's on the bench.
Well, we've had moments in Europe, but ultimately it's been a frustrating campaign because I don't know what you think. I think the draw was reasonably kind to us, and we sort of blew it at the start when we were out of form and out of confidence, mate.
100%, mate. There's no denying that. And I know you can look at it in hindsight and things, but when the draw was made, you look at Porto, you look at Roma, you went, if you can get a point against them, then good result. But everybody else was favourable to beat. But unfortunately, damage was done. We weren't in a good place, weren't in a good management position. And it's cost us, unfortunately. And that, again, as we've said before, that lies the frustration. Because maybe one win, or maybe a win and a draw, we would be playing for something tonight.
Aye, could have been interesting. Right, mate, I believe you've got the team, mate.
Certainly do, mate. Tonight's team is Butland, Aarons, Tavernier, Fernandez, Giga, Magoma, Raskin, Diamondi, Curtis, Gisama, and Chermiti. The substitutes: Kelly, Wright, Suter, Kerr, Smith, Stewart, Antman, Asgard, Miofsky, Moore, and Gentles.
Right, okay, mate. Right, I suppose the talking point will be the shape and maybe young Curtis coming in for Moore. I'll be honest with you, I don't think Moore has really impressed in the last couple of games, mate. Yeah, I think he's tried really hard and just don't give the ball away. So maybe young Curtis comes in, or does Curtis come in because he's got a wee bit more defensive now than young Moore's got? Is that fair?
That's a fair assessment, mate. Whatever angle you look at it on there, I think it's just a option of rotation. As you say, Moore past couple of games hasn't done too much. And when Curtis has came on, he's impacted games and he's got a chance tonight from the start. Obviously, we're still expecting him to go on loan, but might be a good way to bow out with a European performance in his bag as well. Good luck to him as well.
Yeah, but what if he has a performance tonight? Does the manager start thinking?
I think he's got to. I think that's what he needs to look at. Again, you could be surprised that he is starting because of that. But I think he's got the opportunity to maybe pose a wee question of, I know you're putting him out on loan for game time, but this is what I can do. And we know he's got stuff in his locker to produce and impact games. So I think, depending on his performance, there may be a couple of wee question marks raised. But again, I still expect him to be sent out on loan regardless of performance, mate, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. So how do you see this shaping up, mate? What team? Sorry.
I think looking at it initially, my first thought's a back five, especially out of possession. But the potential is there to be a 3-5-2, 3-4-3. So a bit of versatility and options there, but I think it just depends on how much of the ball possession we'll have, mate. Will determine the actual shape throughout the game.
But if you've done that, your two midfielders would arguably be, in the four would be Magoma and Aarons, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Aye. Listen, mate, we'll see. I don't think you'll be far away. Here's a question I never thought I'd ask you, Robert.
Yep.
Glad to see Chermity back.
For this game, yes. Yes, I think so, mate. There's that physical presence up front. You see what he offers compared to Miovski. His hold-up play, I think, could be important tonight to get us up the park, especially if we are getting kind of held in our own half, just as an out ball. I think that's a crucial part of his game that he's brought on. So we'll see how he plays, and if he gets a chance, hopefully he takes it. But I think in general, his hold-up play could be crucial, just a release and a bit of a breather, hopefully, for the midfield and defence if we're under a bit of pressure from Porto.
Yeah, it gives us that physicality, because when you sort of take it for Mahoma down, yeah, and maybe throw Aarons into that as well. Mahoma, Raskin, Diamandis, Curtis, Kasama. But all of a sudden, our squad's get more physicality in it. That part of the team has it?
No, it doesn't. No. They're quite lightweight as well. We know Kasama can get pushed off the ball easy. Curtis is still a young boy as well, trying to bulk up his game physically as well. So it's just that extra physical presence might be a wee bit of a game changer, hopefully.
Aye. Yeah. Some people have got it in the bounce game category. What's your take on it, mate?
I wouldn't say it as a bounce game. Obviously, prior to last night, so obviously there was a bit of importance in this game and co-efficiency and things, but we know the state of play now with Olympiacos winning last night. But I see it as a real test for the squad to see where we actually are in this moment in time. We know we've been on a good run. Ludogorets we managed to beat, but this is a step up. This will be a real test for the squad, and we'll see exactly where we are in this current position. And if we keep the momentum going with a result tonight, then that's a good thing, and it shows you exactly how far we've came in such a short space of time. But I don't think it's a bounce game, mate. It's not a friendly atmosphere. There's still a game to go and play in front of you.
Aye. There's a lot of people made the effort, and listen, we've not got the details, but we're picking up. I think there's been a sad passing in one of our own over there, so maybe it just puts everything into perspective, Robert, doesn't it? It's a game of football, and it's tragic when somebody travelling to see the team he loves, something happens. And I suppose it happens every day to people, but always sad, mate, yeah?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Condolences, of course, to the friends and family of that supporter. No football supporter of any team should go to a game to watch their beloved club and never return. So thoughts and prayers and condolences to the family and friends of that supporter.
Well said. I believe you've also got the Porto team, mate.
I do. I just get the starting 11, mate. I'll go through that.
That'll do.
They've got Costa in goal, and they've also got Costa at right back. So there's two Costas: Bednarek, Kiewar, Moura, Frodholt, Varela, Mora, Gomez, Agihoa, and Pepe.
Not having that Pepe playing, he must be about 90.
No, it's not the defender Pepe, it's a forward Pepe. You're good. Last time we played him, that Pepe was there right enough.
Oh, he was an animal, wasn't he? Good player, but he was an animal, wasn't
he? He was indeed, mate.
Yeah. Successful with his career. Right, we get the phone lines opened.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Nearly down a bridge, yeah, Robert. Nearly down a bridge. Aye, what? People join us all the time. Give us a team, and then we'll maybe have another look and see how if we can come up with something different. How we're going to line up, mate.
Yep, certainly. The team is Butland, Aarons, Tavernier, Fernandez, Giga, Magoma, Raskin, Diamonde, Curtis, Kasama, and Chermiti. Substitutes: Kelly, Wright, Suter, Kerr, Smith, Stewart, Antman, Asgard, Miovski, Moore, and Gentles. A lot of young boys in this bench tonight, Ox.
Aye, mate, aye. Right, okay, so I don't think Aarons or Tavernier's going into midfield, do you?
No, but we have seen Tav play there at some moments in games. But I don't think so, mate. I think to me, it strikes a back five, back three. I'm thinking more of a
if you go with a back five, mate, what's your midfield? Raskin, Diamonde, and then you've got Gassama and Curtis, mate, are they either side, mate? So is that 5-4-1? Do you see that?
It could well be, mate, because they've got the three midfielders. So if we play our two to their three, there's always going to be a man spare. We'll just go overrun. So it's interesting to see how it does line up with it. But there's a bit of versatility and options there with the personnel that's in the squad tonight. To me, I just think it strikes a 5, mate, but I could be wrong. Could be a 3.
But if you play the 3 and you push Aaron's up or Tav up and then Magoma, right? So then that's your 3-4-3, yeah?
Yep.
With Tav on the right-hand side of central defence. And then the chances are if you get pushed back, that becomes the 2 full-backs go back and then that becomes a 5, mate. It's going to be interesting, mate. There's a possibility if he pushes Tav up, mate, he goes with 4-3-3, mate. Possibility.
As I said, he's played there for some moments in some games this season under Danny Rule. I don't see it myself, but I wouldn't be surprised because we've seen him there at moments. But again, I don't see it. I don't see it as well being a midfield 5 because I don't know out of Curtis and Gassama, one of them that would be able to drop back into a midfield position. You've got 2 wide players there naturally, so you'd imagine there'd be some sort of width up there at the top end of the park.
Yeah, I don't see Gassama being somebody that goes with his runners.
No.
That's a flaw in his game, mate. And also, you've got to use you want him on the ball, running with the ball. You don't want him messing about the edge of the box, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I don't think it's a surprise. We did say last night on the show we think it'd be pretty similar to last week. So obviously Tav's come in. And Curtis has come in for Moore and would that have been for? Who was playing last week? Asgard. Yeah, Asgard. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's your 2 changes for the 11 last week, yeah.
And Chimity back in for Miovski as well.
I forgot. He was ill last week.
Yep.
Big Chimity, wasn't he?
He was indeed.
The turnaround and what people think of him is remarkable, isn't it? Would he still be getting the same popularity if it wasn't for 2 certain goals, mate?
Probably not, to be honest with you, mate. I just think that game in particular, he kind of turned it around. And he probably was the most unlikely of scorers, to be honest, leading into that game. But it's testament to him, his mentality, and the coaching staff to get him through a difficult period. Let's be honest, and start to contribute. But even when he's not scoring, Ox, I've said it, his hold-up play, his movement is a lot more. He looks fitter as the games go on as well. So he is certainly improving, but there's still a long way to go.
Aye, definitely. A long way to go, mate. A long way to go. But if we can get a few more goals, mate, particularly in the next few weeks, mate, people will look at them differently. A couple of braces, the odd single, mate. And obviously, you move into double figures. People start looking at your stats different, yeah?
Aye, and he's, from what we've heard this week, he's certainly catching the eye of some people already. So if he does start scoring more goals, then he's only going to catch the eye more of other clubs. And then you've got maybe more conversations in the summer about him. It just shows you how quickly things can change for not just the team, but for individuals as well.
Aye. Last night and the night, mate, might be important for the transfer window because that's where people see where they are, maybe for budgets, etc. Yeah. So things can move on quite quickly, and then it's bang, it's shut on Monday, and we can go on with the rest of the campaign rather than the circus that is the transfer window, mate. Yeah.
Aye, I'm sure Danny will be happy to get the window closed as long as he gets the business done that he wants. And from what we've heard in his press conference yesterday, he's got his number in his head that everybody's aware of, and they'll try and get the business done. But once it's shut, then you've got the group that you want, and we're in a good place, getting results, momentum. It can only continue there on in. If we have a blip tonight, it's about the reaction and the recovery after that. But we've seen after Tynecastle the reaction of these players and the coaching staff to go on this run we're on. So let's hope it continues tonight.
Yes, and what you make of the rumours coming out the day, mate, for the club? Yeah, about some of the outs.
Some are surprising, some aren't. I'll be honest. I think there's a lot of speculation still, as we always say. It's all speculation, media talking things, but you never know really how much proof is in it really until you get confirmation. But some names are there expected, others obviously attracting interest. Means you're in a good place, means you're playing well. So it's a good thing to have people interested in your players, but at this moment in time you obviously want to try and keep the core squad as much as possible, particularly in a title running.
Yeah, you don't always get rid of the players you want, mate. That's a hard bit.
Aye, that's it, because they're not involved and they're contributing, so nobody's really standing up taking notice because they're not contributing.
Aye. Do you think there's any legs in the Danilo story?
I think so, mate. I know Danny Rowe touched on him yesterday. He wasn't kind of with the squad, and then obviously speculation comes out. But I think it was rumoured. I think it was the tail end of last week that the Dutch club that he's rumoured to be having a medical at some point was interested in him. So it seems to have developed over the past few days. But certainly time will tell, mate, on that one. I think it suits all parties to go. I know the rumour is it's an initial loan, no option and no obligation. But again, that could all turn in the space of a few moments. So we'll wait and see.
I always thought 2.5 years, mate, decent contract. Gonna be difficult, mate. People might take that 6 months to help them out. Then 2 years left, mate. They'll not be able to match the wages. Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't feel it good. Yeah.
Aye, it's a difficult one, particularly as you said, on that length of contract, the money, the wages. And as you've said before, nobody's going to match that for an extra 6 months from what you're on at the moment, or better it. So maybe the summertime, you're 6 months down the line. If he goes and plays well somewhere, he gets recognised, somebody might come in then, maybe a bit of a better position to negotiate something. Whereas right now it's 2.5 year deal. That's almost a normal contract these days for some players.
Aye. Porto's a team that's popped up a lot in their history, mate, over maybe the last 40 odd year. But the last 3 ties there've been 2 draws and the Rangers win. Can you name the goal scorers?
Yes.
Nothing. Go on then.
At Ibrox, it was Morelos and Stephen Davis.
Oh, Stephen Davis. Oh.
If you want, the last time we went over to Porto was 1 each, and Morelos scored the equaliser that night as well.
Aye. That particular time, Morelos was in fire, wasn't he? Fire.
Oh, he was.
You know. And would you say his career's not fulfilled his potential, mate? Would that be quickly? Just get your view on that.
I'd say so. There's definitely a play there, mate, but I think attitude came into it a lot. Was a big problem at times, his attitude, and I don't think it's helped him at all after us, and certainly from what we know and where he's been since.
Aye, it's been going, what, nearly 3 years now, is it? 3 years? 23, I think, was it?
Summer 23, I think, aye, 23.
Time goes by that quick, mate. Time goes by so quick. Right, give us a team, mate. And then we'll hear from Danny Rowe.
Certainly, mate. Butland, Aarons, Tavernier, Fernandez, Giga, Magoma, Raskin, Diamondi, Curtis, Gassama and Chermiti. Substitutes are Kelly, Wright, Suter, Kerr, Smith, Stewart, Antman, Asgard, Miovski, Moore and Gentles.
Danny, final Europa League match. How do you view the challenge of Porto tonight?
Yeah, I think a fantastic environment today here. Great pitch, great stadium. A strong opponent, a really good opponent. I think they lead the table in their own country. But we are here. Yeah, we want to be competitive today. We know as well how tough it will be today. I think this is what we have to understand. Some couple of changes in the group, but general we play still with a good team. I think it was also important for me. And then it's a challenge for us, a good test to see where we are on this level.
Yeah, you certainly come in with momentum as well. 8 wins in a row coming into this one.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand. Yeah, I think it's a different challenge today. You have the league, what is also very demanding. But then you come to Europe, you play against strong teams. I think there's no question mark today that we are the underdog. But we are here and we want to enjoy this game. We want to bring a lot of effort in. We have a lot of supporters with us. I think it's also important, to give them a good game, and then we will see where we are after the game.
You mentioned there are 5 changes to your side from Sunday. Is that important just to freshen up, given so many games on the horizon?
Yeah, I think when we prepare this game, then we also looked ahead of on Sunday game. I think this is important, and we have still players. They need minutes. They deserve to play, and then it's good to have a strong bench with some young players as well, from the lone players, but also from our starters from the weekend. And all in all, it's about load management, and we have to come through the next 2-3 weeks with a busy schedule.
Yeah, just lastly, what qualities do you want to see from your side tonight?
Defend as a group. I think this is very, very crucial. I think today we have to understand how we want to press and when. I think my team knows we have 2 different ways today in the game, and I think this is what I want to see. I want to see a connected team who's ready to suffer, run together, and then in the right moments we have to find our ways to come into game.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
He's quite honest, Danny Rowe.
That's one thing he's always been, mate. He's always been honest and upfront. Sensible when he speaks that way in terms of the changes tonight. It makes sense. I mean, you look at it in the grand scheme of things.
Aye. Honest, realistic, maybe. Is that a better word?
Yes, I'd say so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Young Curtis, he's one of these guys that things happen. Yeah. Shots and goal, crosses. We know he scored goals. He's just. Has he got the knack, mate?
Aye, he's certainly got something about him, Ox. I think, see if he had more game time, I don't think we would be sending him out on loan. And I think that's maybe the reason that we are, is to get him out there and get some more minutes in his legs. But as you say, he does make things happen. He draws players in when he's got the ball. He can drift wide, he can come inside, he can put a decent ball in. And as you said as well, he can score as well. So he is an impact player that can cause teams a few problems. I just think if he had more experience of game time, then maybe we'd have a different conversation about a loan move and things like that. So, as I said, he's still got a chance while he's here as our club, as our player, to raise a few eyebrows and a few questions before anything's actually concluded.
Aye. John Shooter back on the bench, mate.
Aye, good to see, mate. Good to see. Again, not surprised he's on the bench. I wouldn't have started him tonight personally. I think Sunday's the game you maybe look at that one. But again, it's just an option as at defence. Get players coming back. It's always good to have options. Hopefully Sterling's back as well, Cornelius. So players are starting to come back, mate, at quite an important time for the squad and the club, and gives Danny Rowe options. Whether he gets minutes tonight, I don't know. Maybe see a couple of minutes in him, but just a good addition to have back for depth and quality, I suppose, in the final kind of back line.
Yeah, your point there with Shooter, Sterling, Cornelius back, then add in the 3 players, mate. It's half a team, isn't it?
Aye, and I know people still out there say I think we need another centre back, but when you say that, you've got 5 there. You've got Fernandez, Giga, they 3. You've still got Enciala, Tav potentially as a centre half cover as well. So suddenly you've got quite a lot of options in an area that at one point in the season looked very, very light and vulnerable.
Aye. Hopefully everybody's coming back for the push, mate. For the push.
Hopefully. I'm sure when players are injured at this point in time, it's a frustration that they're not involved, and when they're back fit, they want to be involved and they're playing minutes, even if it's on the bench coming off, making impacts. They want to be part of it because there's that feel-good factor. They want to contribute when they've got their moments and the chances to do so. As everybody knows, you want to be playing football, especially when you're winning, and it is a big push, and we need everybody from anywhere in the park. We need a full team effort.
Yes. Is that what Danny Rowe's done, mate? Has he built a team? or is he building a team? Is that the difference between the two managers? We were so out of shape and it wasn't a team and it looked disjointed. Has he made it into a team with the same personnel, mate?
I'd say so. I say he's building the team. Before it was a group of individuals. There was some people who tried their best. There was others that hid away. Whereas now there's a real sense of belief, togetherness in the squad. I think you can see that in the play, the celebrations. He talks about running for each other, having to suffer, defend as a team. And I think that's what we're doing. We're starting to look like an actual team connected and clicking together. We're not the finished article. There will be bits of moments and times where we need to improve on, but he's building, mate, and he's bringing players in as well to add to that physically as well as a bit of quality and depth.
All right, aye, okay. As long as I get it, mate. It just seems, and obviously winning helps, doesn't it? Winning helps. Players buy into it more, yeah.
It breeds confidence, aye.
Aye, and they maybe know initially like the message, but if you keep winning, they'll have confidence in the manager. Is that important?
I think it does, aye. I think to be honest, I think since day one, they've looked interested, they've bought in. Obviously, the run now is the one you look at, but from the very first couple of games, it started to improve bit by bit. Individual players were starting to contribute a lot more. Mikey Moore in particular, if you look at him, I know in the last few games not as involved as much, but under Russell Martin, people were thinking why did we bring this guy up? He's no better than what we've got in Finlay Curtis, and then Danny Rowe comes in, slight tweak, slight change, and he improves. Chermiti, Fernandez, he's bringing the best out of these players who have been questioned right at the start of the season. So I think he is, mate.
What I say about young Moore, I don't think he's had a ton in the games, mate. I just think he's actually tried too hard. When I say that, and I've said that a couple of times on the show, he's just trying to do too much on the ball, mate.
Rather than pass it simple, he's trying to take a man or two on. Just keep it simple.
With no pressure being on us, how would you play it? Cagey, or would you just try and get forward and try and see how you got on, mate? Or you don't want to open up too much and you could invite them right and tappy and maybe lose a few goals. What's your take on it, mate?
I think it'll be quite similar to the games we've played this season, mate, in terms of away from home and teams who were expected maybe to not have the bulk of possession. I think we'll be quite compact defensively and try and exploit them on the counter attack. We've got the pace in Curtis and Gassama. Raskin can get forward, Diamondi can get forward, Magoma's got an engine on him. So I think we'll be quite resolute defensively and try and catch them on the break.
Okay. For that to work, I think Gassama would be the key to that, mate.
Big performance needed.
He's not been great, is he? Great goal at the weekend, penalty up at Aberdeen. He's had indifferent performances, mate. But he's a guy that can influence matches.
He can, and maybe if Porto are coming on top of us, then there's more space for him to get in behind and exploit and drive the way we can see him do it, where he looks better driving at teams with the ball in behind rather than getting it so far up the park towards your own half. Really just take the ball and just run. There might be more space for him tonight to show that creative flair that he's got and the pace and a bit of trickery. I think, as you say, he's had moments over the past few games, but I think we just need to see more moments within a full game, if that makes sense.
Aye. You have to get a level of consistency when you're playing for us. That's what people look at, But if you're influencing games with moments playing up the top, mate, you'll get away with murder. If you're consistently scoring or you're making chances, mate, either side of your performance could be poor, but you get away with it.
Aye, you could play terrible and score a great goal, or vice versa. So it's just about that word you use, mate, consistency. It's probably one thing that Gassama, as an individual, hasn't really done a lot. He's done well at the start of the season, but he's kind of dipped, and then there's wee moments here and there. It's just that the lift up, and I've said it before, I expected him to be the kind of standout player, particularly because Danny Rowe had worked him before. He thought might have got a different side of Gassama that we hadn't seen yet. And I still think we're yet to see that, unfortunately. But he's still here. He can still cause problems, and he has got an eye for a goal. He can cause teams problem when he's actually at it.
Aye. I think the thing with Gassama, if I'm being really honest, Robert, just again my opinion, when he's not having a good game, he's got to offer more in the work rate stakes. Because you'll not have a good game every week. Not everybody's like me.
No, especially defensively. You've touched on it a couple of times that defensively he doesn't track his runners. He doesn't work back a lot at times, and I think that's a downfall in this game that he needs to improve on. Because again tonight, I'll say it again, I don't expect us to have the bulk of possession, so he needs to work hard off the ball as much as he does on the ball at times as well. Defensively, he needs to put in a good cover wherever that is in the park, if he's out the left or if he's out the right, tracking back where possible. Especially if we are playing the two midfielders, he's got a job in his hands to help the guys out as well.
Yes, but you maybe said something there that we haven't done well, mate. When we have been starved of possession, we're not the greatest passing team in the world, and that is something that has got to improve yet.
Yep, across the board, I'd say, aye.
Yeah, so that we don't get away cheaply, then means that we're defending more, yeah?
You've got to be smart with the ball, use it wisely, pass it at the right time, move it at the right time, and capitalise when you get the chances. If you don't, you're just going to lose possession. Your team then is out of possession, and you can get exploited. And especially on the European stage, Porto can cause you damage. They've shown that they're not unbeaten in their domestic league. They've only lost one game in Europe this season, so they can certainly cause some damage to us. But as long as we keep things simple, improve the passing, and when we do get it, use it wisely and try and exploit them as much as they might try and exploit us.
Set pieces, mate. Defend them well, mate. Get a few. We've got a threat. Like Manny.
Certainly do, mate. We certainly do. It could be a key aspect for tonight's game. We know from open play, there's times where we don't capitalise enough. In past few games, there's been a lot of set pieces where we've scored goals from or looked threatening. I don't think that'll be any different tonight. There'll be certainly a threat from Fernandes, but you've also got the likes of Giga. Rassen's got a jump. Chamiti back in as well. A physical threat in height and stature. Both in both boxes, defensively and attacking, but it could be a key area again that we maybe try and use to our advantage. I don't know how well Porto are in terms of height and stature, if they've got many tall guys in the park, but when you've got Fernandes, you've certainly got a big asset in your arsenal.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Sorry about that bit of frog in the throat there. I didn't want everybody to hear me coughing, Robert. I don't like what Chamiti sets up when we've got set pieces, mate. Yeah? Yeah, I think the ball's got to go past too many players, our players plus defenders, before we're centre forward at 6'4" gets involved.
It's a noticeable thing, Ox. You can see it. He's usually kind of middle to back, isn't he? At set pieces, rather than possibly being the front man. But it's obviously something maybe the set piece coach has worked on, that he's there at the back post for flick-ons or second balls. That kind of instinct for a striker to just touch the ball home, hopefully for a goal. But you've got Raskin front post. Fernandes is obviously the main target man. And Chamiti just seems to be the one that just loiters at the back for any kind of second balls, should it be the case. So it's obviously something that's part of the plan, as much as we maybe question it. Maybe something that will work in time. You might see him at the back post, tucking one home, and you'll say, thank God he was there.
Aye, maybe. Eat my words, mate. Eat my words. Not for the first time, but I just like him to be more in the middle and maybe gone, mate. Fernandes, and then all of a sudden you can have anybody doing the job he's got snuffing about the back post, yeah?
Aye, you could. There's But you'd probably like to see a wee bit of versatility in the corners. I think we all know that Rashton will be front, as I said. Fernandes will kind of go middle and run in. Just change it a wee bit because teams will start to click onto it. They know Fernandes is a target man, so they'll always try and keep him quiet or try and put two men on him where possible and leave somebody free who maybe isn't as a threat in the air. But a bit of versatility, you could maybe see some changes. We've done it with short corners, putting the ball in from a different angle, different types of goals. But again, positionally, it's probably something that's part of the plan, mate.
Aye, listen, we can't complain about what's happened in the turnaround and set pieces. I'm just saying, I'm not too keen in his position yet.
No, I think if one thing about his positioning is the more so the runs that he does when he runs into box for positions, it's sometimes the wrong option. Rather than going to front post, he's going to back or vice versa. Sometimes that's the wrong choice that he makes, I think, when the ball's coming into the box where he is there. I think that's something he can improve on going forward. But positionally, 9 out of 10 times, if the ball comes to you, hopefully in the penalty box, you can get a shot away. But you've got to be in the right positions. And we've said before, they're not getting the service. But the flip side of that is they need to be in the right position at times to get that service as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how it pans out, mate, and how I just read something there. Is your young Jason got a brother? Did I see that Norwich have signed a Magahoma for Brentford? Somebody just sent me. I don't know if they're related. I need to check that out, mate. Yeah, I don't even know if the spelling's the same. I'll need to look at it, mate. Just people when they send me stuff when the Rangers are playing, mate.
Nah, I know. Never know what kind of news you get through here, mate. Might be an exclusive for something for us. You know how we like to give exclusives, mate.
No, I'm ready for pulling the plug and all that, mate. There's a couple of pests on it, you know.
Nah.
No names, no background, but you know who they are.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So, what's your prediction, mate? Come on, off the fence. You went for heart and head. What are you thinking?
Well, I said before we came on, mate, my head says 2-1 Rangers, my heart says 1 each. But do you know what? I think we'll go 2-1 tonight.
Oh, yeah. I'm going for a bridge man, mate. We'll steal a bridge man. Jack Butland's outstanding. And we get a set piece with 5 minutes to go. And Big Fernandes scores a winner.
Oh, you would take that any day of the week between now and the end of the season. Every day of the week.
That's the heart, mate. That's the heart, yeah.
Aye. No, listen, it'll be certainly a tough game. There's no illusions here. Porto need to win themselves to qualify automatically as well and hope some other results go in their favour. So I think that's why you'll see both teams. They'll want to obviously win to progress automatically.
Yeah.
We want to win to keep the momentum going. So it could be quite an open game. I'm hoping it's an entertaining game.
What's your view on this new setup, mate? I really bought into it this time last year. I think it's all right, mate. It's taking a bit of getting used to.
I quite like it, if I'm being honest. I think when you look at the obviously the expansion of the teams allows teams of different levels to come in. You can play some big teams, you can play teams maybe lesser than you or the same level. Good chance to get some points. I think it opens it up to get further in the competition for some teams. Obviously, the further you go, you're going to meet some really tough, big opponents. But I quite enjoy it, mate. I think it's quite exciting. I think you've seen that last night at the Champions League. Every time a goal was scored, there was teams moving in the league for form. Happened to us last season in Europa League, mate, as well. 1 minute we're out of it, next minute we're top 8. I quite enjoy it, mate.
All right, I was enjoying it, but two people kept messaging me and annoying me. Any names? And think anybody?
Don't know. Does one sound like
Smelly.
AK?
Oh, it sounds like Smelly.
All right, okay.
Yeah. And the other one sounds like Hunt. Sorry, mate. I'm only kidding, boys. I'm only kidding. Yeah, right. They've got a decent outfit, mate. We're playing against a decent time, mate. At any time, mate. Yeah. You know, Portuguese teams, we've done really well in the last few years, particularly over there. but they're still good sides, mate. Eh?
Aye, they are. They are. I mean, Porto's an established Premier League, Champions League team at times as well in most seasons. They can really cause some damage in Europe. So, as I said, it's not an easy task tonight. I think when the draw was made, you looked at Porto, you looked at Roma as being the two difficult games, and we're under no impressions. I need to be a hard game, but as I said, a good test for the squad to see exactly where we are in this moment in time with the momentum run. Because I think if this game was a few weeks ago, you would have maybe come into it a wee bit of a different feeling. Whereas right now, you're optimistic, you're hopeful, but there's a sense of realism as well about the tie that it is tricky, it is a tough game, but the momentum's there. How far can we carry it into tonight?
Aye, all that seems to be the big threats up front. I hope I'm getting this right. Soma Omar is 20 goals this season in Borja Seance. Yeah, I wonder who he is. I'll see if I can have ordered an old man with that name. But he's a winger that plays up front, mate. So the threats are up the top of the pitch. So maybe that's why he's going with the 5, mate. Eh?
Aye, the boy you mentioned there, Samu, he gets called over there. He was on the books at Atletico Madrid. Quite a promising young talent. And they Porto bought him after a loan deal. Quite a physical presence as well, Ox. He's quite fast and powerful. And I think he's got a lot of goals this season as well. But I think across the board, they've got players that can damage. In the middle of the park, they've got a young boy who's about 18 or 19, Mora. He's tipped to be a big potential star in the future. So certainly a lot of quality across the park that can cause damage. And that's why I say it's just about us keeping concentration, being smart with the passes, and being quite compact and resolute.
For the size of the population of Portugal, mate, they've produced some football players, haven't they, in the last 30, 40 years. They've been up there, haven't they, you know?
Aye, definitely. Aye. I think them and Benfica have, even Sporting Lisbon at times, have produced some real talent across the board. So Portugal always seems to be a destination that produces quality.
Your favourite Portuguese player, mate?
I'm not going to say Cristiano Ronaldo because that's the obvious choice.
Right.
I liked Deco years ago.
Oh,
I thought Deco was a great player.
Diego was good, but yeah. Just for one kick of the ball, I might have to give you Pedro Mendes, mate, but that's another story. That's just me.
You might indeed, mate. Aye.
Right, mate, last word for your good self before we go and watch the football. What's your beloved team?
Aye, cheers for having me, mate. Been a good show
not
there.
at all, mate.
Good chat. Good discussion again, just to preview the game. As I said, tricky game, but let's just see where we are at the moment in time. Big test, and hopefully come away with a good result.
Yeah.
I be happy about it, and as I said, hopefully no injuries as well. I know you can't play the game like that, but if everybody comes away unscathed, that's a bonus.
Hey, here, mate. Listen, thanks for taking the time, Robert. Always a pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure. I like pulling your leg as well. You know that. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm getting used to it. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm
I've still
not
not,
bad. Yeah.
I've still not complained about it yet, so you can keep going. It's all right.
I have to go to HR every morning, mate. I'm used to it. Listen, thanks for taking the time. Thanks. Fox is back, mate. Good to hear him and see him again. Thanks to Old School Blue for without the two guys, there's no show. And they also man the phone lines that we keep open so that people can take part in the show. So remember that after the show. Everybody out there in the Rangers world, enjoy the football. We'll be back 15 minutes after the final whistle. Take it away, Old School Blue.